TNJ Radio Show.
What's good? What's good? End of the month. Wonderful day that we have here. But we live and we ready to go. William A. Thomas here, one half of the dynamic duo here at TNJ Radio. And sorry for the missing of the music, folks. I know some people are probably mad, like, man, we didn't get our music. That's some pretty good music that we be having on there. So I would probably be mad if I had to miss out on that too. Let me just adjust this right here. But but we here. No better place to be. So got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna have a good show, great show. Um uh, there's been a lot of lessons learned, over the course of the week, and we're going to dive right into it. And we want to know your thoughts in regards to it. A lot of people, seen on Sunday the stuff going on with Will Smith and Chris Rock, and a lot of people might be thinking like, you guys are beating a dead horse. And from the perspective of it just being just a slap or whatever, that might be right. But it's a whole lot deeper, and there are a lot of different nuances, and we're going to dive right into it. What's going on, Huey? Give me a second, and I'll get that link to you. Uh-oh.
Where's my entrance at, man?
Oh, hold on.
How you doing?
Let me do this right.
Hold on. Let me come out and come back in.
So this guy that's going to be coming on, he's in the state.
I don't need you. Welcome. Welcome.
You give yourself the applause.
That's right.
You on my side, man. What's up?
What you got OCD? Why you always put me over on this side?
Can't help it, man. Be used to it. I drive cars, same side. Could you imagine going to Britain or something? They put you on the
I have
other
a story about that.
You drove in a car on the other side?
Oh man. Went to Jamaica. This was like what, 2010, with the in-laws. And the driver was from Jamaica. He forgot that he had to drive on the right side. And these 18 wheelers was coming around these mountains. He's like, oh gee. I was in the back hot, and I was like, no. It was bad.
Man. And he was from there?
Yeah, but even here for a while, you forget.
Oh, man. Well, that had to be a scary thing,
Oh man, the mountains.
Yeah.
You ever been?
Pretty sure I've never been in a car where I'm on the other side.
It's a weird experience.
Mm.
I couldn't look out. I was just looking out the back window. I couldn't. Yeah.
But what I was saying is that a lot of people might think that we're beating a dead horse, but there's a lot here that we've been learning. And there's a conversation to be had. This is more than, like, I'm going to admit, when I saw that slide, that was funny. One of the funniest things I saw, because I was about to go to bed. Who expected that? Will Smith to go on stage and just,
man, yeah, that was interesting. Get it? I mean, we talking about it because the streets got to eat, man. People still interested in it, and more information is coming out, like you said. We have actual audio. I have to pull it up, but we have audio of Chris Rock. We have audio of Chris Rock. Breaking news. He's speaking out on it. And then, I wanted to talk about like all the comedians who, this is their livelihood. I want to hear what they had to say about the situation. Can you hear me?
yeah, it went out for a second, but yeah, at the end of the day, Yeah, I want to know what they had to say. Cause
How do I sound, man?
sounds all right now.
Okay. All right. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me. If you can hear me, hit a one. If you haven't already, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe, also hit that notification bell, share, share, share. We're going to kind of do a little monologue, if you will, and then we'll let people chime in and just tell their thoughts. But um, yeah, there's some questions we want to ask, man. On social media, it's a divided country right now, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's really divided. You know, you have one group who supports Will and said we gotta support and protect our women, and and then there's another group that say Chris is the victim. What do you think? Put it in the comments, man. What you think about the situation? Do you think uh, Will Smith should be banned from the Oscars? Do you think he should keep it? I know I was watching The View, which I don't normally watch, that woke view, but Whoopi Goldberg is one of the board members, and she basically said that they're not going to get rid of um, or try to take back the Oscar. You know, I mean, there was a lot worse cases. You have Woody Allen. He still has his Oscar with the things that he did allegedly, and so, but it's just interesting because this thing, this uh, Oscars is the Mount Rushmore or the epitome of Hollywood, you
Mhm.
know. And for Will to disrespect that, that's an interesting thing, you know. But a lot of people said they would have done the same thing, which I disagree. We're gonna talk about that, you know.
Lot of brave hearts, when they talking with their Twitter fingers.
That's right. And his crew came out. His brothers spoke out. Yeah, Tony. I was wondering, man, because I watched Everybody Hates Chris, and that light skinned kid used to always beat up the people for him, the bullies. So he came out. He said he ain't accepting it. He ain't accepting that apology. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing?
He ain't with that.
Tony's that ain't a dude to play with.
See, here's the thing too. Like Will Smith, if we go back, Will Smith and Chris Rock worked together a lot of times. Like since the Fresh Prince show. And then when Fresh Prince was producing shows in 2000, he actually produced the show All of Us. For people who don't know, it had I forgot the other co-star, Martin, something Martin. What's his name?
He said on all of
Something Martin. Yeah, I forgot his name, but he was married to Gina or Martin. Well, anyway, so that was on the show together with Tony Rock. So they had this relationship, and then Chris Rock had a relationship with Jada Pickett. They did Madagascar 1, 2, and 3 together. So much history. Now we can work with each other and not like each other. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, because like we all work with people we don't like. We just go to work. That's our work. We don't go out with them or nothing. I don't know if that was the case.
Dwayne Martin. Okay.
Dwayne Martin. There we go. Dwayne Martin was the star. Tony Rock was on the show, and Jada Pickett and Will Smith, they ran the show. So there was a relationship there. Now, when it comes to this award, in my opinion, I think he needs to give it back. Now, I've been arguing with people on social media for the last 2-3 days. They're like, "Why are you talking about a black man?" And we're gonna get to that because I could go down y'all timeline and y'all talking about black men all day. Y'all talking about them right now, actually. Y'all talking about me. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into that. But should he give it back? He made the whole event about him. People didn't even care about he won. All we was talking about was the slap. That's right. You're awfully quiet over there. You just staring at the screen. Did your heart stop? What the?
I'm I'm sitting here now. I'm listening what you were saying about the slap, but yeah, you're right. He pretty much made it about himself, and to kind of aggravate it further, you know, anybody been at the cookout and you had that drunk uncle or something like that, and at some point they're like, man, we gotta get him out of there before he do something. And then he like, no, I don't want to leave or anything like that. Because at that point, everybody's uncomfortable. You know, you're sitting there watching someone that you may care about and love, and they're doing stupid stuff, and you're trying to get them out of there, but they don't want to leave.
Right.
Well, apparently, that's where Will Smith is. You know, this is someone who is beloved by a lot of people, and he didn't want to leave. He was asked to leave. Now, of course, we know that if it were you or me or anyone who's listening to this podcast right now, you don't get asked to leave from anything like that. You either leave in cuffs or you leave it on the stretcher, one or the other, if that's the situation. And me, I mean, I probably well, I wouldn't do it, but I probably just have to take it up. Like, man, I don't know how you got there, but I'm gonna have to just fight him, you know, on the stage the whole time. I don't know what made Will Smith think he could just walk back. That this was like some Magneto level stuff. like he just said, like boom, all right, sit down and fix a suit. But
Right. And the thing about his career, because he had a phenomenal career. He had a phenomenal career. Still to this day, I think his career is going to be done. I think only way his career is going to be saved if Chris Rock saves it, in my opinion, because this is Hollywood. They're just not saying anything. They're actually reviewing this information right now. You know what I mean? And it's a white supremacist group. You know, there's some black people scattered in there. If you want to call Whoopi Blackbird, I mean, she called herself Goldberg, but you know, she's accepted by them. And it's a shame with Will Smith because you should never don't put a period where there should be a comma. And this could have put the period on his career because he's simping out here.
mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just interesting that I heard D.L. Hughley say this. These people, and this is for everybody who's sitting there trying to feel like the man should protect the woman, because we need to talk about that. We need to talk about honoring who's the head, who's the lead, who should we be honoring, who should we be protecting. That's what we need to really understand and talk about, because everybody's not shouldn't be protected. You know what I mean? Ask yourself. You said protect black women, but what are you gonna protect your ex? Much as we see all this stuff that we talking on here, I mean on social media, are you gonna protect your ex? She black. You on Facebook? I wouldn't even dump water on her if they were burning. That's what I see on social media. You know what I mean? Also, you have to look at it in a biblical sense. Don't give your pearls to swine, right? So your information, your lifestyle, your information about your life is your pearls, and you giving it to swine. So what do you think if you give something valuable to the dogs? They're gonna chew that up. So you give us information about your life for whatever reason. For me, I don't believe it's to help people. I believe it's to make money. You know what I mean? Like they're going to capitalize off this on the table topic. And you giving your information out, and you expect us not to critique you. If it's so sacred, keep it sacred. We don't know nothing about Samuel Jackson's family. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know nothing about the Denzel Washingtons.
And you know what's interesting about this? For some time before social media, you didn't know anything about the celebrities anyway, except for what paparazzi, when they were chasing them down and getting snapshots or catching them in restaurants or catching them cheating or whatever it was, you didn't know anything. But they opened this door to where they opened up their lives to all of us because social media, it's the new capital. So because kind of just to quote Jim Carrey, we're not the cool club anymore. So to be able to be the cool club, these people are putting their lives fully on display because before that, the only glimpse you got inside their crib, I'm a date myself, was on Cribs, MTV Cribs in the 90s when they come and open the door and they say,
and that was fake. Bow Wow, but remember the Bow Wow challenge? That was fake.
wasn't
Only thing was real, really was Redman. Anybody put a one in the comments? You saw Redman's house. Oh,
how was it?
He was still living like in the projects.
Oh,
yeah, like it was bad. Just Google that, you'll see it. But a lot of that wasn't real. We live in this fantasy world. Like, we watched TV so much when we were kids. Sometimes we thought this stuff was real, like they were really family. You remember Family Matters? After the first season, the girl left, and we didn't even ask questions on that, right? The little girl. All of a sudden they had 3 siblings and went to 2. No one even asked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we come to this realization that, like, for me, what they said, never meet your celebrities that you really love, because it's you'll get disappointed. And for me, Will was my guy. Like, I'm talking about brand new funk in '89, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the TV show, and then he just took off. Like, he could not lose, except for one exception was Wild Wild West. That was a trash movie. That was trash. He actually could have did The Matrix crazy, but he was winning. And if anybody read the book, read his book, it was some revelation. Obviously we know everybody is. I mean, that's a hard role to be in. In the celebrity role. In my opinion, and he said this in the book, so it's not a really opinion. He was never really Big Will. He was always a chicken. He was a chicken. And this is what he said. He was a punk. He's the oldest sibling, and he felt like he had to protect his siblings, and his siblings was tougher than him. Like, he was always the jokester in the house because his dad had a attitude. And so he always said, like, maybe if I can make him laugh, he wouldn't beat us or we wouldn't be in trouble today. And one particular time when he was 9 years old, what he said in his book was, one day his mom and dad got in an argument. By the way, his mom is from Homewood, Pittsburgh. For anybody who lives in Pittsburgh, and dude was from, like, what, Philly, West Philly, and he punched her so hard that she was spitting out blood. And Will always felt like he couldn't protect her, and he always ran from his fights. And then he said once his dad got old and frail, he was taking care of him. He said he was pushing him in the wheelchair, and he said he was thinking about killing him to avenge his mom, and he didn't. And he always said he had bad relationships with women, And when we look at Jada Pinkett, she never wanted to be married. We're gonna play a clip about it. She talks about it. She says she wanted to be a free spirit. Her mother made her get married. And I got a video, which I'm probably gonna play, where one of the outlaws they used to hang with, Tupac, said that one time, and this is why I want to talk about the woman you're with, because we talked about this, Will and I, before. I said that Jada should have protected Will
Right.
when Will was walking up there, because he looked at his woman saying, "I need to protect her like I didn't protect my mother," right? And she should have grabbed him by the leg or something and say, "No, Will, don't do it." She should have did that. But yet she was there for the festivities. Because here's the thing: when Tupac was like, they was kind of in a relationship with Jada, and I'm gonna play it for the people who. I'm gonna play this. She stopped Tupac from jumping on
Mm,
Will.
wow. Mm. So she
Think
could.
about that.
Wow.
She was trying to protect Tupac. She's still crying over him. On his birthday, she keeping letters. What would you do if your wife had a letter about some dude she's messing with that was passed away?
Mhm.
Is she honoring him? Or vice versa? If you was a if you was it was vice versa. What are we doing here?
And and just to give an idea about that type of protection, right? Um, I have a little bit of road rage, probably a lot. Look over to the left. My wife ain't looking at me, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say. But a lot of
Hey,
times,
don't.
yeah, I'm the guy beeping. I'm giving the looks. I'm saying my words. Sometimes it's behind the glass. Sometimes it's not. But a lot. My wife's like, hey, you got to stop that. You're putting yourself in danger. You're putting us in danger. And if you're by yourself doing that, you're putting yourself in danger. And you never know who could do what. You never know who has a gun. You never know who's going to run their car into you or whatever. You never know what. So that's an example of my wife working to protect me.
Right.
That's what Jada should have did in that moment.
Yes, this it's a helpmate. You're a helpmate. You know what I mean? Like, you should know when this guy's going to turn up. You got to bring him down. You know what I mean? Because is this worth you losing him for 25 years? What if Chris Rock would have got smacked and died? Like, he hit something. He was so shocked, had a heart attack. He's almost 60 years old. So, Will, which is 53, had to spend 20 years in jail. What you think she going to do? She going to get into another entanglement?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Are you thinking about the family? You know, um, and for Will, they had an opportunity to talk to them. Like, if you had a problem with Chris Rock, because you remember Jada Pickett tried to make a she tried to boycott the Grammys in 2016, which Chris Rock was hosting.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried to go to him and tell him to boycott. And he said no, and he made a joke about her and Will on the show. That's what he does, right? If they had a problem with them, they should have went to them then. And then also, I feel like they should have. Will should have waited till that segment was over. He's in Hollywood. He should have said, "Which way is where everybody goes? Like, when they're done with the break, you go there and you talk to him. And if he still got that same heat, which we know he wouldn't, smack him back in the back."
Mm.
And Puff Daddy lying, like Puff Daddy talking about it was everything was fixed. And Puff Daddy is crazy because Puff smacks a lot of people. He smacked Drake allegedly.
Mm. And I mean, just the audacity of that mindset, like basically to like he's going to tell that man like hey, you need to like just squash this right now. Don't worry about it. It's like if they were fighting or if someone was fighting and just be like, hey, don't be mad. Like come on, gotta let him sort through his feelings or whatever. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised that Chris Rock didn't press charges because he probably don't want to, go through all the embarrassment and the hassle and stuff. He already got embarrassed. And
Well,
in the big picture, I'm gonna tell you what. Chris Rock, I stand with Chris. Number one, he a comedian. Number two, he had exhibited manhood, masculinity, meekness. Like he could have kicked dude in the back of his neck. He could have came and Superman punched him in the back of his head and knocked his skull through or something. He even said it. You hear him? He was like, "Wow, I could have."
Well, let me say something about that. Now, yeah, I'm gonna play a video what a couple of comedians were saying about the situation, but I want to say this because we sat there and ridiculed. No, we didn't, but society ridiculed Kanye West, and this is just a case. They're parallel. They're the same because they both tried to get a woman that's for the streets, if you will.
How you doing?
They were for the streets, and they love these girls. They try to change them, and then you get to a point where you have to defend their honor, right? Like you remember when Kanye West actually went after who was it? It was Drake. He went after Drake because Drake made a song about it said Riri or something, and no, it wasn't Riri, but he made a song like going after him, and then you had Ray J and all these other people. So he was showing his manhood, trying to protect her, even like right now with this dude Pete. But we're saying, oh, stay away from you, crazy. Why are you doing this? He's trying to protect his family, right? Same thing. Will Smith do it, and everybody's praising him. And she don't even want you. We got video of her saying, she wasn't happy. She said to his face, I have the video we're going to play. To his face, she said, I went with Austin because I wanted to be happy. She said his sex was weak on the table talks. So what are you protecting? You know what I'm saying? What else did she say on there?
And real quick for those who are watching, and who you are, because I'm not going to call out the names, but there are people who think that this has nothing to do with Will Smith's feelings in regards to his relationship with his wife. It's just a one-off situation, or because he was just trying to protect his wife. That's nonsense, and we got the receipts. So
that's right.
Tune in. Stay tuned.
All right. So I'm gonna put on Will first, Will and Jada. And it's funny that Will was so sensitive about talking about bald people. I don't know. I mean, there's a video going around where he was clowning somebody who was bald. So he's definitely hold on, let me make sure I found it. If I had it up, where's it at? Yeah, so he's definitely he's the simp of the year, man. And he's willing to ruin a career. Now, do you think she loves him any more today than she did yesterday? I'm asking you.
Not at all.
Right.
I believe it's the same situation.
You can't do that in this world, man. They got rules. Like he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, these are jokes. Come on.
Oh, they just jokes, huh? He talked about Uncle Phil the whole time in the show, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
How fat he was. Hold on. Should be
me to ask you.
Now, this is what I say. It's not reciprocated because this is George Clooney. George Clooney clowned Will, and look at her response when she did it.
A question. I do have a question I've been wanting to ask you for a long time, and it's pretty simple. How do you put up with Will? I mean, really, look. You're intelligent and talented and successful and beautiful, and you have all of these qualities that, quite honestly, Will doesn't have.
Oh my God.
And I want to know how, after all these years, you do it. How do you do it?
Okay, so let's say somebody did that, talking to Will, female, and they said that about Jada.
That was her, his daughter, his mother-in-law. They all laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
Come
You
on.
got this white man clowning Will, and she's just rolling. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's go back.
Really, look, you're intelligent and talented and successful and beautiful, and you have all of these qualities that, quite honestly, Will doesn't have.
Oh my God.
And I want to know how, after all these years, you do it. How do you do it? How do you do it?
Go.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? Like, when is she gonna hold him down? I have yet to see her hold Will down.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna talk about this though. She wants to leave Will. Everybody's saying, "Oh, he's standing up to the black woman."
Started a friendship with August, and we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his.
Imagine you telling your wife this, like, "Yeah, she just needed some help. She was going through some things, and we ended up getting an entanglement."
How you doing?
Mental state, and we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull them through.
Ready to cry. Look at his beaded eyes.
Yeah.
It should have smacked her.
Now look at that. Because people want to say, well, that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago. So we're looking at it right now, which this was what, a year ago when this Red Table Talk came out. This is him here, because just because it happened 7 years ago, that doesn't mean that he's healed.
Man, she messing with somebody right now. Let's stop playing. They ain't messing with. They ain't dating. They're just. See, Will is a perfectionist. He is a narcissist. You saw what he did on the Oscars. It was all about him. Did you hear his speech? It was about him. He's a narcissist. You know, and he just like can't figure out, because this is all in his book. I'm not saying stuff that is not in his book. He wrote it because this is his second marriage. The first marriage, the woman didn't want him, right? The way he was. And then this marriage, she just didn't want to be married. She only got married because her mom wanted her to get married, man. Some moms have so much control on their kids where they do stuff that they're not happy with. So it just blew up because she's not happy with this life. Will out here working hard, trying to get her everything because of his ego. Because he want to say, I did this to you. You know what I mean? He bought her this big house and they had this big lake that said her. It was her lake. And she broke up with him. If anybody knows, he threw a 40 year birthday. She was 40 years old. And it was a whole week. She didn't want to go. And he had Mary J. Blige singing. He actually went and got somebody to research her lineage, right? And found out she was, slave this place and that, and they had a whole documentary, and she didn't smile one time. And then when it was over, the documentary was over, she went in the back and yelled at him so hard, like, why would you do this? This is the biggest narcissistic thing you can ever do. And he's like, I can't make you happy. So you always hear him now say, I can't make her happy. You do what you want to do, basically. But he don't want to get the divorce because he is his ego. You know what I'm saying?
And it's interesting because they were both going out saying that, like Will was saying, I'm not in control, or I'm not responsible for her happiness. And she was saying,
they come up with their own language. And here's my thing. She come up with this language that buffer the fact that you out there for the streets.
How you doing?
She's out here for the streets and change entanglement. No, you was hoeing. You're married still. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like because we would have known that because they're in the limelight. We'd have knew that they got a divorce. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Will don't want that. He came from a 2-parent household most of his life.
Mm.
His like I said, the mom her mom made her do that. She didn't want kids. That's why Jaden allegedly might be fruity. She ain't raised him right, and she's not a good parent when the daughter sit there and say, "I would take her out the will, dude." She said, "I wish Tupac was alive so my mommy could be happy. You out the will.
Mm.
You done. Get out of my house now." You understand?
And now just think about that, because
Hold on, pack your. She 8 years old. Pack your stuff and get out. Get out of here.
8 years
I'm gonna
old.
catch your Uber. I don't know how old she was, but
I mean,
that's a learned behavior, though.
she was young enough to have the little pigtails and stuff like that, and the
How
braid.
she know Tupac? She was born in 2000 in the 2000s. That's
Right.
a learned behavior.
Can you imagine the little stories in the back room? Or she telling her a bedtime story like, once upon a time there was a princess named Jada and a prince named Tupac.
And he used to wear those Timbs. Oh my goodness. He wore them Timbs when he tucked his pants in the Timbs, in the bald head with the wrapped up bandana. You had to be there. Everybody, the whole country put Thug Life on the chest.
Mm.
And Will sitting here like, I can't keep up with this dude. So he got his Tupac on, in the Oscars.
Mm.
She don't love you, man. This is like crazy, but let's keep it going.
And from there, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
At that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over. We
were
over. And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there.
What did she do? This is why y'all trifling for supporting her. She slept with her son's friend.
Mm. Two things I heard there. One said I thought that it could be over, like it was close. And the other said it was over.
She wanted to be over. And he said, what did you do? You slept with our son's friend, you little nasty. You little nasty. Come on now, think about it. Let's be honest here.
You know who you are, who was saying they were separated and so on. They weren't together. They both had different feelings, which is what's been going on through the whole relationship. I told you we're going to bring the receipts.
As time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
So he's clearly pissed off and he wanted to say this. She's trying not to say it.
I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
Hey, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time and you go figure out how to make yourself happy.
I was in a lot of pain.
Now this was after her birthday when he tried to make her happy with this birthday bash. So it wasn't a mutual thing. It was her. They said she was crying every day for like 4 months.
Mm.
And I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner.
Mm-hmm. During that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you...
And that they're going through some healing. Who's healing? Because he's clearly not. He's at the brink. He's ready to give it. He gave his whole career up. He's so pissed off.
Mm.
Come on, man. Come on.
These euphemisms.
Feel like
you know,
Yeah.
she said entanglement. He said interaction. It's hilarious.
Man.
you were looking for.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Husband, I got to be with you at the press conference while you tell the world about your transgressions.
Well,
Like I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
no, I definitely
Of the year. We're gonna do a simple awards, man. So put in who you want to be in there. We're gonna vote.
understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much.
See that? No remorse. Out here for the streets. For the streets, man. That's the devil. This is what y'all say, hot girl summer?
About myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional
Hit that-
immaturity, emotional insecurity.
Hit that cash app, man. We got to keep the lights on. Hit that cash app, TNJ Radio.
And I was really able to do some really deep healing. It was really a joy to just help heal.
It was a joy to get that, you know what? That was a joy.
Clapping sounds.
Entanglement with August.
Somebody.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure I was ever gonna speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is
After messing with his son's friend.
is a miracle.
So we're saying that these women need protected. Is that what you're saying? Are we saying these type of women need protected? What about the women who doing their thing and don't go out and they're taking care of their husbands? Those are the ones that need to be protected. Let's keep it 100. You have to earn it. Why the men don't have to earn it, but the women do? It's a conditional love when it comes to men, right? But it's unconditional love when it comes to kids and women. A man has to bring something to the table. Why don't the woman have to bring something to the table? You're supposed to be the helpmate.
Speaking of Chris Rock, you remember what he said? All we get, right? We get the big piece of
piece of chicken. The big piece. I should have put that on the thing. All we get the big piece of chicken. Not true though. Not true. There's real women out there, man. There's real women on their thing. We talking about her and the women like her. You know what I'm saying? And you know, tearing Will up inside. He's not happy. He don't care about that Oscar. He probably broke it or something, man. You know, he want his family back. He a family man. She don't want this, and he been trying for years to try to make her happy. You know, people think money will make you happy. He gave her her lake in the mansion. She can get. She has everything that she needs, and she don't want it. But everybody think that, you know, oh yeah, we have the money and this all this other stuff. You'll be happy. Every day there's something happen. You know what I'm saying?
Very different because, as I said, there's so many.
Look at this dude. She that made her happy. This young dude, little millennial, huh? He out here.
You know he came out and said something today, right?
What'd he say?
He said, "Choose peace," and he wrote this is some fake deep stuff, but trusting that life's intricate puzzle pieces are all forming together for the greater good and mastering of the seasonally sometimes chaotic nature of your life's art piece that's being formed and painted by birthing life to your internal masterpiece, grown through external chaos, metamorphosing alchemy, dark turned to light and beauty within.
Well, this is what I say. Will should have he should have did that to him. Carry on.
Side-eyeing me, looking at me questionable about it. I mean, I've lost money, friendships, relationships behind it. And I think it's because people don't necessarily know the truth, but I've never done anything wrong. I love those people, literally, like my family. I don't have a bad starts affecting my life, block my heart spaces
Pause
with
the video.
Will and had a conversation, express my.
This is this is the rest of what he said. August said, I'm a walking billboard and network simply desiring to televise and broadcast love. The love, grace, and healing embrace of God. Good music that's healing with a little bit of nasty, because the art of sharing temples can too be healing. So that's all he was doing. He was just sharing temples with Jada.
Man, this what I'm saying. Like, this is and they're defending. Like I said, they're defending the other party. You know, they're defending her, and that's a shame, man.
Truth. I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her. I devoted myself to it. I gave my full self to it. So much so to the point that I can die right now and be okay with knowing that I truly gave myself to somebody.
Right.
Jada said,
Something's gotta give. We can't love you more than you love yourself.
That moment really
That was your bottom.
changed the trajectory of my life.
3 months later, Jada told us this.
I needed more freedom. The public wants you to be a certain way. Your partner needs you to be something. I'm really a free spirit.
Okay, so let's talk about that right there. She said your partner needs you to be something. He needs you to be a wife, right?
Mm-hmm. Part of the contract, right?
Yeah. I thought that's what it was.
Spirit at heart. I just felt like my life had got constricted into this little box. It was strangling me, basically.
Yeah.
You expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you love me,
You should be able to read
you
my
should
mind.
read my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put all this information out on your tabletop topics, and you expect not to hear backlash from us. And also, the whole thing of Will screaming, he said, "Don't disrespect my wife." So what you did was you made this a thing. You created this thing. We always talk about social constructs.
Mm-hmm.
You made this a thing that we're all talking about now. So now everybody's talking about you and your wife. Where there might have been the best way to do it was to ignore it and then just go in the back of the room and talk to him. Hey, don't disrespect my wife like that. And then I'm pretty sure he would have understood that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a confrontational guy.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that in a normal set, let's say that none of this stuff was no August, none of that, Jada's cool, and Chris Rock makes the joke. Do you think that any of this would have happened? Outside of, right. And that's what I'm saying also. I don't think that Will Smith in his natural state goes up there and does any of that because just like Will Smith's mom said, like that's not who he is. He's a pretty even killed person. But even the most even person, if you're going under so much pressure and things like that, it's going to disrupt you. And you know, he's been dealing that with that for so long, and eventually it just overflowed. He snapped, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Yep.
that he was even thinking on a level of you know, going to
Hold on,
talk.
keep talking. Let's just put it on the screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think he was just more so like thinking like oh, Jada's mad. Let me go up there and in fact, Kwesang was trying to protect her when he was really more so trying to impress her.
That's a good point. That's a great point. Great point. Great point. Yeah. So this is a couple of the comedians, what they said about him, the situation.
Last night, I actually turned into the Source Awards. When I saw it last night, the first thing I thought was, wow, Ali punched Pookie. Then I thought, wow, I thought Kanye and I had beef. And then I got tremendously sad because it was a night that there were several things people should have been proud of. And even though the night I think turned out to be something other than people planned, there were a lot of moments to be proud of. Questlove winning, the fact that 2 women of color and 3 women in general were hosting the show. There were several people who were grateful and honorable. What I thought, and as to the question of whether what happened last night was right or wrong, when you hit somebody, that is illegal. And the only reason nobody didn't go to jail is because nobody pressed charges. So if you have a question as to whether that was right or wrong, if it's illegal and could potentially be a felony, it's probably wrong. If you told somebody you didn't like something somebody said and you punched him in front of people, you more than likely would go to jail. Having said that, Will Smith was integral in my life. When I was a warm-up for many years because I was on this show initially as a warm-up. I got fired because people didn't like me. Alfonso Ribeiro, father didn't like me, and he got me, and I was fired. Weeks later, Will called me back, and I was a warm-up for the duration of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he knew that I needed, back then I think it was $10,000 in SAG. I believe that sequentially a lot of things went wrong, and that happens when people snap. And you only have to look at what happened. Like I like you, saw Will, hear the joke and laugh initially, and then something happened. Now I can't tell you what that was, what the trick.
Yeah, he seemed like being really nice because he gave him a shot, He gave him a shot in life. Here go Ricky Smiley. Let's see here.
It was as a little no.
And we all different. I'm just saying the way I would have handled this is when he told the joke, I would have got out of my seat, but I would have went to my left or to my right to get backstage. Find out, okay, when the talent come off stage, do they come off stage to this side or this side? Okay, they come out to this side right here. Okay, I would have patiently waited for Chris Rock to come on stage. And when Chris Rock came on stage, I would have been like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I would have took Chris Rock in a small room and I would have asked him, I would have been like, so what's up with that, what you just said about my wife? And I would have at least, because what happened is that would have given Chris Rock the opportunity to make the correction, right? That would have given Chris Rock the opportunity to say, hey man, I didn't mean any harm. Or, hey, fuck you, I said what I said. Okay, if he would have went backstage and said, fuck you, I said what I said, then slap the shit out of him, if that's what you was gonna do. But did you give him an opportunity to correct? Did you give him an opportunity to apologize? Or you could have sat in your seat and said, keep my wife name or at Zion Memorial Gardens or at assault. And the LAPD is, it ain't about, okay, protecting women. How many people in the cemetery for making the wrong decision and doing it the wrong way? How many people are at Zion Memorial Gardens or at at Carver Memorial Cemetery for making the wrong decision. You don't know what nobody past is and what somebody done been through. For you.
And that's what I'm saying there. You know, there's so many people carrying weapons on them, and you're sitting there, you know, confronting people. You turn your back. I saw a video on social media where this guy confronted this guy, and you know, he was pretty tall. He was intimidating. He walks away. Dude pulled a gun, start blasting on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got to kind of be more strategic when you're doing those type of things. Anyway, you know, I think everybody is not willing to have a conversation, but you know, it's worth a try. You know, and if it doesn't work, man, you just have to kind of walk away. You know what I mean? And I mean, now it was different if her life was in danger, then I get it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
and
it's the crazy thing, huh?
It wasn't. I mean, this was a this was a really light joke, and it was, you know, something quick to go by. The only reason it was a delay, you know, maybe Chris Rock might have saw her face or whatever, you know, and he was like, all right, well, let me move on. Because he probably thought she would have been laughing. Usually when you're getting roasted, you're supposed to be, you know, just laugh it off.
Right.
Otherwise,
well, at least he was laughing, and we saw the video.
Will
was laughing.
Yeah,
Will was. She rolled her eyes like most people like that do. You know, like they showed her expression on their face, and then it just went haywire. You know, it just wow. He just had a mental breakdown, because anytime you get into a verbal, any type of confrontation or anything, which it wasn't, and someone snapped to you know, make it physical, they have a mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you just was enraged. Like, even like when he was saying keep my wife name out your mouth, the way his voice was trembling, and then after the fact he was crying. Like when they went to commercial break, he was sitting there crying, and no one tried to console the person who got smacked. Unreal. And I know they like him in Hollywood because they wouldn't keep asking him to host the Oscars.
Right.
This is not his first time.
Yeah, that was just that was pretty weird. I don't know how they went about that and how that ended up happening, but yeah, that was definitely pretty weird.
Yeah, so there's an audio. Well, I mean, I can play it. Probably won't play it because I can check it out. But there's an audio with Chris Rock. I think he's working on his tour material, which I probably won't go now because the prices went up so much. And I was thinking about trying to take my wife there, but I saw something that said $46 and it went up to $400. Streets got to eat. The streets, he's going to get paid. But what do you think about what Jim Carrey said? He was interviewed by Gayle King, I think, and for people to know, he was basically saying that he would sue Will for $200 million because this will be played for the rest of his life. That video of him getting smacked at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that could mess up a brand.
Yeah. I mean, even if he were to capitalize monetarily, right? You know, like he could always have that worry. Like every time he goes and get on stage, like, should I pull back on the jokes and stuff? Because you know,
or like when somebody get up to go to the bathroom, you might get nervous.
Yeah, that PTSD might kick in. So,
and my question is too: what if because Amy Schumer was hosting as well, right? If she would have said a joke about Will, would she would have went up and said something to her? Is this the type of energy we're having now, where we have this ghetto family, and you say anything, we're going to handle it in public on TV? How do you think how do you think she would have handled it? Would she have laughed it off like she did the video we just watched? With George Clooney, like she's talking about the husband. Oh, that's so funny, yo! You're so cute.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder how Will felt about that.
Good question. Good question. So it's just a double standard. And that's their marriage. If that's what he want to do, that's fine. I just lost total respect. I'm not supporting him anymore. Like I said, I was a huge fan of him. I don't like bullies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of bullies. And you knew he wasn't a threat. You knew he was probably like 150 pounds, old, 60, almost 60 years old, and you're gonna smack a really?
Mm-hmm.
He could have said what he said at the, when he said, keep my family's name out the mouth. You could have did that from the chair. You didn't have to do it, smack and walk away.
Man.
Yeah, but a lot of people support it. Like I said, there's a lot of people supporting that, man. On social media, they're saying, look, about time somebody's sticking up for their wife. And I'm like, how do y'all know? There's only 25% African American women married. What are you talking about?
And,
you know what I'm saying?
And it brings that question, if that's so, then maybe that's why we're talking about this big level of unprotection. Because most of the time you ain't going to be out here protecting strangers the same way you're going to protect your wife. You ain't going to be protecting the girlfriend the same way you're going to protect your wife.
Right. And if that was the case, why ain't Cena, he loves her so much, why ain't he protecting her?
Mm.
Or Mark Anthony when she was messing with Mark Anthony and all these other people on his watch. So yeah, I don't know. Will made a bad choice, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Chris Rock is gonna bounce back better than ever. It's over with. And I like what he's doing. He's focused on this tour. He got a huge chin, man. His chin is mean. Yeah, his chin is mean, man. Yeah. So, real quick, we'll drop the link if you're trying to get on real fast. If not, we'll just keep it moving. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, you dropped it already. Yeah, man. You want to get on and say something real quick? You here is the floor. Yeah. So you gonna try to hit that tour up, or you don't go to stuff like that, huh?
I was gonna go, but I looked at all the tickets and everything was like that was left over were like single seats because Chris Rock, they had him going into like one of our what is it called? Like one of our Broadway type theaters. It was like a smaller place. It wasn't like the arena or one of the bigger places. I guess.
Yeah. I think I know you're talking about downtown because I came there before.
Yeah, the Benetton. So,
yeah, I went to see him down there.
Mm-hmm. So,
and what he did? Hold on, real quick. What he did was clever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was sold out, so he did 2 shows back to back.
And
I ended up getting to go to the second show. So he might do that. He did it before.
That'd be good, because it had sprinkled seats. I mean, if I wanted to go there, then I wouldn't be able to sit with my wife. She'll be somewhere, and I was sitting there looking at the seats. I was like, well, if I see like a single one that's taken, maybe they might trade or something. But no, it looked like people had doubles and 4s and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you try and come on, hit the click the link in the comments. You're trying to come on, but yeah, I mean the price went up, man. Yesterday, what did Fat Joe say? Today's price ain't yesterday's price, and when this happened, I probably gonna pass on this. I'll just wait till he's probably gonna do like a special on Netflix or something.
Man,
but somebody's sneaking audios in there already, man, because somebody recorded his audio when they asked him about it. It's like, matter of fact, I'll play it. 1 second. But
glad they did them. It annoys me. A lot of these places they got them yonder pouches. They want you to lock your phone up.
Interesting.
You ever go to something where they did that?
Not yet.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I don't really like comedy shows. I mean, I'll listen to him, but man, they be sitting there just doing a whole show in a crowd, like just talking about everybody. I don't like that. You know, like never go to a DL Hughley show unless you want to be talked about for real, because he'll just go into his whole set talking about everybody in the room, roasting you. There we go.
How was your weekend?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened. So if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend. And I'm still kind of processing what happened. Like so at some point I'll talk about that shit. And the shit was fun. I'm gonna tell some jokes. I'm gonna talk about it's nice to just be out.
Yeah, so he ain't really say nothing, but yeah. But I'm pretty sure, you know, once you get into the middle of the tour, you're gonna be talking about it.
Yeah. Well, Tony said so. He's saying I don't accept that apology.
Yeah, Tony about it, man. Tony about it, man. He ain't like Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy, but if you mess with Eddie Murphy, he's coming for you. You know, but it's gonna be interesting because you know, they had a relationship, man. They had a working relationship. You know, Tony. So I don't know, man. But is there anything you wanna leave us with, man?
Just and if you were watching on the one Facebook feed and got interrupted, you know, be sure to go on TNJ on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube. That way you'll be able to get the updates, hit the notification bell on there. You know, definitely appreciate you guys for watching. Just don't go around just slapping any old body because you don't like what they say. Might not end up the same. This is a do not do this at home type of situation.
That's right. That's right. And you know, we always say if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. We will talk to you another time.
Peace.